This is a special presentation of WAAY 31 Sports. WAAY 31, your home for high school football.
It's the McCurry Big Game Friday night. Hello, Alabama, find a comfortable spot. We got high school football and it's coming out high. Now here we are and the lights are shining bright. Yeah, WAAY 31 is rocking all right. Nolan, Max, Xavier, and Antonio. It's the McCurry Band and Car Rental Big Game Friday night.
It's a battle of undefeated squads with regional positioning on the line as Hartselle and Muscle Shoals meet in our Game of the Week.
Well, in our rivalry Game of the Week, it's another undefeated bout. West Morgan on the road in a region showdown against Deschler. Welcome into Week 6 of Big Game Friday night, everyone. Thanks for joining us this week. I'm Nolan Knight here with Max Cohan. And Max, the season really starting to shape up.
Yeah, tonight we had plenty of games that could be factors in deciding who our region winners will ultimately be.
Yeah, that's right. A perfect example was our big game of Friday night Game of the Week between Muscle Shoals and Hartselle. And for more on the game, we'll head out to Muscle Shoals to catch up with Xavier Wary.
The Trojans and Tigers both come into this one undefeated. Now, both teams will not only look to remain unbeaten on the season, but win a region game that could have serious impact on region positioning. So how would this one pan out? This is our big game Friday night game of the week.
It's a Class 6A Region 7 matchup between two unbeaten region foes. The 6-0 Hartselle Tigers visit the 5-0 Muscle Shoals Trojans, and the Tigers will get the ball first in this one. On the opening drive, quarterback Jack Smith fires this one downfield, but it's picked off by the safety Will Weaver, who fights for a few extra yards. That turnover would result in 3 points for the Trojans. However, on the next Tigers possession, Smith looks to air this one out again. This time, the lefty connects with Eli Tidwell on this slant pattern, and it's off to the races as the Tigers get on the scoreboard. Hartselle would be up 7-3. And although Muscle Shoals offense has had a tough time finding the end zone in the first quarter, it was a different story in the second. Trojans QB Cole Woods takes the snap, keeps it himself, and watch the speed he possesses as he outruns the entire Tigers defense on this 70-yard run. Trojans up 16-7. But the Tigers would not be denied before the end of the half. Azariah Fletcher's going to take the handoff, and he breaks one would-be tackler and tells the Trojans defense, see you later, on his way to the end zone for the Tigers' second touchdown of the half. Hartselle would go into the locker room, however, down 16-14. And after a back-and-forth second half, the Tigers would need to score on their final possession, down 26-22 with under 30 seconds to play. It's Jaden Morris with the carry, and after eluding multiple Trojans defenders on the biggest play of the season, scores the game-winning touchdown with only 17 seconds remaining. Tigers win in a classic 29-26.
I'm with Hartselle's head man, Brian Moore. Coach, what a game that was.
It was a lot of fun, man. Everything we thought it would be. They're a really good football team. It's a playoff, third or fourth round game. I think they're that good. And for us to finish, have a 2-minute drive to finish the game and go up by 3 was just a huge deal for our kids.
Look, Muscle Shoals scored very late in that fourth quarter. What was the message to your guys? Because you only had one shot to really get some points on the board, and you needed a touchdown at that.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we've done that, man. We practice it all the time. Of course, it's different when it's live. But our kids are veterans. Our quarterback's a senior, receivers are seniors, running back's a junior, been in this atmosphere before and just executing when they needed to.
We talked earlier about the fact that you all have been routing teams for the most part, and I asked you earlier, I said, Coach, what does it mean to play in a tight game? Yep. Talk to me about this game.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, because this is the way it's going to be, right? Like if our goal is to win a state championship, then this is the way it's going to be throughout. And to be challenged that way is huge for our team. And we're going to be beat up, man. It was a war. And we'll see how we respond next week.
What did you see out of that Muscle Shoals ball club tonight?
Shoot, man, come on. Really good. Really good, great coach, man, great program, great facility, great atmosphere. Just this is what Friday night's all about right here.
Coach, you're 7-0. Congratulations on the victory.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And again, the final score in this one is 29-26. The Hartselle Tigers defeat the Muscle Shoals Trojans. Hartselle now improves to 7-0, as I just mentioned. Muscle Shoals suffers their first loss of the season. They are now 5-1. Reporting in Muscle Shoals, Xavier Wary with 31 Sports.
There you have it. Hartselle remains undefeated with the win over the Trojans. No surprise that was going to be a good one.
Let's take a look at some other scores from 6A Region 7. Coleman takes down Athens 35-23, and the Red Raiders dominate against Columbia 65-0.
In 6A Region 8, the Lee Generals hit the road tonight to take on Fort Payne, looking for their first win over the Wildcats since 2005. 4-1 Fort Payne Wildcats team hosting the Lee Generals of Huntsville. In the first, both teams had yet to score when Wildcats are at midfield. That's when Caden Du Bois breaks out, and 46-yard later, it's a touchdown for Fort Payne. Then later in the first, Wildcats leading 7-0 from the 18, and they keep working. Jake Barnes with a quick pass to Marcus Smith, and he sets up first and goal. 2 snaps later, it's a touchdown. It's Bennett Blanks who pushes in for the score to take a 13-0 lead. The Wildcats run away with this one at home, 56-12, the final.
In 6A Region 8, only 2 teams remained perfect in regional play, Gadsden City and Hazel Green, and they met tonight at Grimwood Stadium. The Trojans start on the charge. Griffin Fowler decides not to throw this one and takes off for the sideline for a nice gain, but that drive ended without points, so possession changes, and with the ball, Titans quarterback Matthew Sparks wastes little time, letting one rip downfield for Khalil Hughley, who doesn't catch it cleanly, but finds a way to make the adjustment in full stride before he's eventually knocked out of bounds. Sparks would finish the drive himself on a quarterback sneak with some extra assistance that gets him across the line. Gadsden City shut the offense down in this one, and they win big, 37-7. On the other end, both Mae Jemison and Buckhorn had yet to capture a region win, but someone had to take this one, and the Bucks would get their antlers rattling early. Terrence Robinson fires out of the backfield and into open space, and as the kids say, he gone. No one will catch him this time as he strolls into the end zone for a long Buckhorn score, and yeah, you kind of have to celebrate with the mascot on that one. Later, the Jags looking to punt. Not in my house. This one is blocked and recovered by Jordan Edwards in the end zone for another Bucks touchdown, so it's time to celebrate again, but the party was just getting started. Jemison Zamarion Mitchell back to pass, and he's got nowhere to go, and oh no, the ball is loose. This one must have been covered in butter because no one can grab it until Cohen Fielder falls on top of it. You guessed it, he's in the end zone, and it's another Buckhorn score. In the end, Buckhorn easily wins this one, 58-12.
Another even matchup taking place tonight was the one at Tanner. The Rattlers at home hosting the Hatton Hornets in a big 2A Region 8 showdown. 2 teams looking for their 5th win of the year as Tanner hosted Hatton for homecoming. 3rd play of the game, and Hatton quarterback Briley Kirby is off to the races, but Tanner's Akelian Jackson catches them just short of the goal line. But on the next play, Kirby calls his own number. He takes it in for the early lead. Tanner fans ready for the Rattlers to get moving, but Hatton was hitting on all cylinders tonight. Kirby drops back and drops a perfect dime in for another Hornets touchdown. Tanner coaches can't believe it, trying to get the defense to step it up, but Kirby again fires another long pass. Keyshawn Love on the receiving end of this one. He hauls it in and takes it to the house. Hatton hammers Tanner tonight, 50-13. Here's a look at the other 2A matchups from tonight. Lexington wins a close one against Falkville, 40-33, and Red Bay takes down Darptown, 54-14. While at Cherokee tonight, the Bulldogs win big, 54-6. All right, well, let's go ahead and take our first time out of the show, but don't go anywhere.
When Big Game Friday Night returns, we head out to Deschler for our Big Game Friday Night Rivalry Game of the Week.
Stay tuned for more Big Game Friday Night!
It's the McCurry Big Game Friday Night. It's the McCurry Big Game Friday night.
All right, welcome back into Big Game Friday night, everyone. Thanks for joining us. How about we talk rivalry game of the week?
This one had the anticipation of a game of the week.
Yeah.
Undefeated West Morgan on the road at undefeated Deschler in a 4A Region 7 rivalry showdown.
And man, what an atmosphere it was tonight at Deschler. But they were taking on a talented West Morgan team. Pitch to Jalen Fletcher. He's around the right side for a big West Morgan first down. And that would lead to a score for the Rebels. This time it's a screen, and it's Fletcher again, open in the flats. He's got all sorts of space, breaks the tackle, and he's into the end zone for 6. But Deschler would respond right back. Titavian Fuqua takes this pitch. He gets some great downfield blocks, and he's got great vision down the sideline and in for the score. The Tigers came to play tonight. Then, on the ensuing kickoff, the Rebels look like they're going to take this one for 6, but Jeremy Strong can't hold on to it. The Tigers recover, and they go on to win this one on homecoming, 21-6.
I'm just proud of our seniors. That's what we went into this week saying. It's going to take great senior leadership this week. We want to be physical. We want to win the point of attack. And we, our 17 seniors, they walk out of this field house every day. They see all those numbers on that wall, and they want to put another one up there. So just really proud of them and their effort tonight.
And the road doesn't get much easier next week for the Tigers. They welcome in a talented Central Florence team to town. Some really talented teams in that region this year. The Lions take down the Eagles with the big 59-14 win, and Rogers shows its firepower. They beat that Central Wildcats team 41-21. Another matchup in that region. West Limestone takes down Wilson in a close matchup, 34-26.
In 7A Region 4, it's Sparkman hosting James Clemens as the Senators search for their 3rd straight win, while the Jets try to avoid a 3-game skid. And out at Sparkman Field, the Jets are cruising towards the end zone. Gabe Ballard with a nice gain in the red zone. More from him in just a second. James Clemens goes to the air this time. Gio Lopez finds Ballard off to the left, and he strolls in for the score as the Jets lead hits double digits. James Clemens' defense also looking pretty good, so a couple drives later, Lopez has the ball again, looking a little confused at the line, but decides to throw it anyway. It ends up being a mistake. Jalen Chambers, the only man in the area as he comes down with the pick, but another drive would come up empty for the Senators as the Jets fly high in this one, 41-17.
Well, at Bob Jones, the Patriots were in action tonight at home, hosting Florence, hoping to stay in the fight for a 7A playoff berth. But the Florence Falcons have put together 2 straight wins, and we're feeling good entering the night. The Bob Jones defense, they had their work cut out for the night. Jonathan Moreau chasing this one down for the tackle for loss, but the Falcons would jump out to an early lead. Quarterback Leo Glover gets things started, keeps this one for himself. He's got daylight, he's got speed, he's got a touchdown. Untouched all the way to the house. Falcons on the board first, 7-0. Then following a 3-and-out, Florence put together another good drive. Glover to his running back. He sucks it in with one hand. He's down the far sideline. Demarion Vaughn brings the Falcons all the way inside the 5. And then a few plays later, Glover finishes it off. Touchdown Falcons. It's a 14-0 ball game. The Patriots would try to mount a comeback in the second half, but it wouldn't be enough as they fall at home in a close one, 38-35.
Right now, the leaders in 7A Region 4 are the Austin Black Bears, 3-0 in Region play and hosting Grissom tonight. That 4-2 Black Bears squad facing a challenge from the visiting 1-4 Grissom Tigers under the lights with a big crowd on hand. So Grissom, quarterback Christian Carter, takes a bad snap. He's able to pick it up, but the Tigers' drive would stall. Austin now with the ball, and running back Martell Monday Jr. runs through the D as he picks up a huge gain. First down Black Bears, but this drive would also fail as quarterback Dier Young is brought down by Kenneth Williams. A huge sack right there. So Grissom trying to get some offense in, but the defense is shut down, continuing a rough night against Austin's D. And near the end of the first half, it's going to be an Aaron Rodgers-type Hail Mary, and it's going to be brought in by Cam Collins. Touchdown Black Bears. Austin goes on to win this one 22-0.
Shifting gears to now some 3A football for the first time tonight. Madison Academy at home this week to host Asbury for the first time in school history. This Madison Academy team, following a couple of early season losses, have completely turned it around. They would take a 42-0 lead in the first quarter alone in this one against Asbury, and they would continue. Screen to Jackson Reese. He flies through the defense, easily finds the end zone for his first career touchdown, and then later the Mustangs would score on defense. Bad snap into the end zone. It's Colton Rose who hops on top of it for another Mustang score. This one was lopsided, but give credit to the Rams. They never gave up. Quarterback Jacob Lindsay put it all out there tonight, but it's all Madison Academy. 56-0 the final in that one. And before we take another timeout, let's look at some other scores from across North Alabama. Susan Moore dominated tonight, shutting out Brindley Mountain 71-0, while the Tigers beat Vinemont 41-6. Big win for Pennington. All right, well, let's go ahead and call that second timeout of the night.
But don't go anywhere. Coming up next, we head out to Fife to see if the Red Devils can stay undefeated.
Stay tuned for more Big Game Friday night.
It's the McCurry Big Game Friday night. It's the McCurry Big Game Friday night.
This is the Muscle Shoals High School Marching Band, and you're watching Big Game Friday night on WAAY 31.
All right, how about that? A big congratulations to the Muscle Shoals Marching Band for being this week's Flow Air Spirit Award winners.
The Trojan Marching Band is one of the best in the state, standing at 135 members strong. Just this past week, they won the Grand Championship at the Russellville Band Competition. So a big congrats to the Muscle Shoals Marching Band for this week's award.
All right, well, how about we get back to some football now? A big Sand Mountain showdown took place at Fife tonight, where the Red Devils hosted Collinsville in a big region matchup. The 5-1 Panthers of Collinsville traveling to Fife to take on an undefeated Red Devils team, and they are enjoying a cakewalk, leading 48-0. We start the second half with a 46-yard run. That kind of sums up this one. Red Devils ahead 54-0, just like that, as they are on a revenge tour, devouring everyone in their path. Fife dominates once again, 61-0. The final in this one, they remain undefeated. All right, here's a look at some other games in that same region. Section took down Eider 28-19, and the North Sand Mountain Bison sent a message with a big victory over Sandrock 49-13. While Whitesburg Christian was on the road looking for their first win over Pisgah school history, they don't get it tonight. It's the Eagles that win that one 41-7.
In some 3A Region 8 action, Colbert Heights host Elkmont as the Red Devils search for their first win over the Wildcats since 2009. An important region matchup here as the Red Devils would struggle to move the ball early on. Cole Holt takes the shuffle pass here, and on second down, he fights for some yardage. Red Devils looking for something there, but the Wildcats defense, well, check this play out. Looks like your run-of-the-mill short gain, but the ball pops out of the pile. Braxton McDaniel scoops it up, and he's headed the other way for 6. The Wildcats take the lead on homecoming night as they go on and take down Elkmont 28-8. Only 2 teams remained perfect in region play, Mars Hill and Lauderdale County, both in action tonight. Mars Hill stays that way, 35-0, and the same way for the Tigers. They take down the Bobcats, 36-12. While Clements and Marion County met for the first time ever, and the Colts fall 22-16.
At New Hope tonight, the Indians were in action at home, hosting North Jackson in a big region rivalry showdown. Let's head out to New Hope. This game was back and forth in the first half. Both teams struggled to find the end zone, but North Jackson would try to break that. Nicholas Price hauls in this pass, picks up a big first down for the Indians, but that drive would stall thanks to the front 7 of the Indians. How about my man Dominic Scott coming up with the big tackle for loss, but the Chiefs would continue to find success through the air. This time it's a screen for Jonathan Linderman, who has some space. He's down the sideline and into enemy territory, but the New Hope defense would make up for that play. Check this out. Jernigan is going to look to throw here for North Jackson. He's going to scramble around in the backfield, and he's going to throw this one deep, but the ball is batted off of the helmet of Will Sims, and it's into the hands for Tyler Brown for the INT. However, the Indians offense could never get anything going as they are shut out at home, 14-0. North Jackson takes that one. Taking a look at the other games from that Region 8, the Bulldogs take down JP2 55-10, and the Raiders shut out the Tigers to win this one 45-0. Big win for Randolph. Westminster coming off of a heartbreaking loss. They get a big win on the road at DAR 53-7.
In another meeting of 2 teams who've never seen each other before, it's Decatur Heritage hosting Appalachian. And this one, it's a battle of the Eagles. We jump in the 4th quarter with Decatur Heritage now up by 4 and trying to tack on. Quarterback Bo Solly goes for the run, but is sent down hard, and it gets worse from there. Running back Severius Evans is going to take a handoff, but oof, the ball is knocked out of his hands, and the fumble winds up in the hands of the other Eagles. Appalachian would take advantage and force their way down into the end zone, with quarterback Sean Curtis pushing his way through to take the lead. A big comeback in this one. They would add the 2-pointer and hold on to win the Battle of the Eagles 16-12. All right, well, let's go ahead and call our 3rd and final timeout of the night.
Yeah, but coming up on Big Game Friday night, it's time for us to introduce to you our premier urgent care fan of the night.
Stay tuned for more Big Game Friday night.
It's the McCurry Big Game Friday night. Big Game Friday night.
All right, welcome back into Big Game Friday night. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Before we go, let's introduce you to this week's premier urgent care fan of the night. For this one, we head out to Madison Academy.
I'm Jordan Blackwell, and I'm the Big Game Friday night fan of the night.
Congratulations to Jordan Blackwell. She's a senior at Madison Academy. Not only does she cheer on the football teams on Friday nights, but she's also a member of the basketball team herself. Some awesome school spirit out there tonight. Big congratulations to Jordan. All right, we would just like to take this time now to thank you for tuning in tonight, and also would like to thank you and all of our radio sponsors for helping make this show a possibility. We'll just have to see what's going to happen next week on Big Game Friday night, but that's going to wrap up everything that's taking place tonight here on week 6 of Big Game Friday night.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we'll leave you the same way we do each week with our Big Game Friday night top lights.
Good night, everybody.
You've been watching a special presentation of WAAY 31 Sports.